Full disclosure, this is a very long episode.
Yeah, we like to make episodes that have a little bit of something for everyone, and this episode is for those of you who like to get down and dirty, nitty-gritty with your details of boats.
Yeah, because this is a very long episode, we have actually broken it down into some chapters in the description box below so that you guys can easily navigate through it. We really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Enjoy the show! Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We are here in the beautiful Paradise Village Marina while we are waiting to get our boat hauled out. And while we were sitting here, we were thinking, we've never given you guys like a legit tour of our boat. And since we've got some time on our hands, we figured today's the day that we're gonna give you guys the full tour aboard our beautiful Catana 471 catamaran.
This Catana 471 is a 1998. It's hull number 5, so this was the 5th 471 that was ever built. They built the 471s from 1997 up to about 2003 when the last hull, I believe it was number 68, was produced. They continued building a similar version of the boat, but they remarketed it as the Ocean Class, the Catana 47 Ocean Class after that for a few more years. But officially, 1997 to 2003 were the years of the Catana 471, and this is a 98, so it's a very early version. And one of the cool things that we found when we purchased this boat is that this boat was actually originally used to help market the 471 since it was one of the early ones.
Yeah.
Originally, this boat was owned by a gentleman named Santiago from Peru. Hey, Santiago, if you're still out there watching us. It was named Salvaje. And in this cool marketing brochure here that was produced by Catana in 1998, it mentions the story of Salvaje and Santiago as he built this boat and sailed it back to Peru. And so it's kind of cool history about our particular boat. It's been around for a long time.
Is this picture our boat?
No, this picture is one of the boats that was built at the same time. It was a sister ship. I believe that's hull number 4 or 6.
I was like, oh my gosh, our boat's an influencer boat. It was meant to be.
But this boat has had a lot of history. We are the 4th owner of this boat, and it's been well taken care of throughout the years. This boat is about 47 feet long, hence the 471, and about 25 feet wide. I say about because it's actually in meters, and I
can't do math.
I don't know the conversions in my head. And it is a performance cruising catamaran, meaning it does have performance features. It is very aerodynamic. It does have the dagger boards, features like that, but at the same time, it's very comfortable for cruising. And you'll find different Catana owners do different things with their boats. They outfit them differently so that some of them lean more to the performance side, some of them lean more to the comfort side.
We have a pretty good mix of both.
We have a good mix. I'd say we lean more to the comfort because we're out here cruising. We do like the performance features, but overall, this is a comfortable boat. And we want to give you a tour and let you see some of the features that this Catana 471 has. Okay guys, we are going to start today's tour in the cockpit. This is the area that we spend most of our time with when we're under sail, and that's because it is comfortable. It is large, it's easy to navigate, it's shady, and we have all the controls of our sails here in the cockpit. All the reefing lines, the halyards, the topping lift, the outhaul, everything comes to this one main winch here, so it's very easy to operate your mainsail from this winch. We also have twin main sheets, one here, one behind Linda, that operate our boom, which is a nice feature, and I'm also able to take this block and move it further out if we're going downwind so that I can bring the boom out even further in those situations. We have winches over here that control our jib sheets. So like I said, everything can be controlled under the cover of our canopy. This canopy here is a vinyl canopy. They started making them fiberglass later on in the years, but we have one of the earlier ones that has the vinyl canopy. The benefit to the vinyl canopy is, number one, weight. It's much lighter than the fiberglass canopy. Also, it's removable. So as we start approaching these months where we have hurricanes coming, this is something that's going to be able to be removed and reduce windage on our boat so that we don't have to deal with it in the winds. The drawback to it is it gets dirty. You can probably see it. You've seen a video where Linda was trying to scrub it. It does get dirty, and it's something that requires some maintenance. But overall, I like it. I prefer having the vinyl top. This array here is 1,050 watts of solar panels. I may in the future add a few more panels up front just because this thing gets it done 85% of the time, but there's that 15% that I'd like to have a little more power. What I love about this solar array though is its position. It's nice and low. And the reason I like that is because it doesn't impede my view. It doesn't get in the way of anything. It's not very obtrusive. Also, by keeping it low, it keeps the windage low. The wind actually comes over the coach roof in a high wind situation and over the panels. It doesn't catch as much wind as if it was mounted up higher. The only drawback to it being mounted low is sometimes we get a little bit of excessive shading from the bimini top. If the sun is in the wrong location, then I will get too much shading on here and that can cut down my charging. I can always take my boom to one side or the other to handle that shading, but this bimini top I can't move. So that's the only issue that I really have with it, but that's a minor issue in comparison. So in this cockpit, I've got quite a bit of storage as well. I've got some underfloor storage here that includes all my tools. This area also has a fuel tank for the generator, and this fuel tank can also be a secondary fuel tank for my main engines if I happen to run out of fuel in the main tanks. Like I said, this is all my fuel, my tools, my cleaning supplies, everything I need some spare parts as well. Under here, you simply lift the table, and then I have a nice Northern Lights generator inside this soundproof canopy, as well as oils, hoses, spare parts, more tools, lots of storage in this boat. One other area that we have storage is under this seat. We have more cleaning supplies, more tools, and some dive tanks as well. As you can see, it's loaded up. We don't have a lot of extra room for anything else. We make sure that we carry as much as we can so that if anything happens out there on the ocean, we try to have the tool or the part to fix it.
So Kurt thinks that everything under the table is super cool and very important, and it is, but being the hostess with the mostest, I actually like the table itself as well, and I also think it's super important. I can either keep it nice and small and compact when it's just us two, but if we're ever entertaining or have guests on board, we can actually expand our table to a beautiful, lovely piece of teak furniture, and now I have space to entertain everyone and put all sorts of goodies and drinks on here and enjoy the cockpit area a little bit more, because like he mentioned earlier, we really do spend most of our time out here.
All right, I think that pretty much covers it in the cockpit area, but I did forget one thing. I know some of you guys are thinking, how do you get to the sail bag? How do you get to the boom when you have a vinyl top? How do you stand on that? Well, we actually have these carbon fiber planks here. There's two of them, one on either side of the boom. So when you're up there, you can actually walk on top of these carbon fiber planks, and that gives you access to your sail up there. So now let's talk about the helms. We have dual helms on this Catana 471, starboard and port. The only difference between the two helms is on the starboard side we have the engine controls. These helms are controversial. Obviously, they are great position, great visibility, but they are open to the elements. Some people they discount Katanas as even a choice because the helms are so open to the elements. However, I really enjoy this position. It gives me a really great sailing feel. I have perfect visibility around this boat from either side. I can also see my sail trim. All I have to do is look up. I can see the entire sails up there, so it's very easy to trim the sails. I love these things because they're connected to the boat. That's the big thing for me. I can see people inside the boat. I can see people inside the cockpit. I stay connected. I don't have to yell down at anybody. I'm right here. Those helms that have fly bridges, you know, where they're way up on top of the boat, they're disconnected. I feel like I'm not even part of the boat when I'm sailing up there. I can't see anybody. I have to yell down to get anybody's attention. I don't like it. I'd much rather be out here, and I will sacrifice being exposed to the elements in order to have that kind of connection. And if things get really rough, you can always go inside and sail from the navigation station. You know, that's what it's there for. We can always be inside in a blow. I also have coverage around the cockpit where I can be inside, so I don't have to be out here in really bad weather if I don't want to be. These sugar scoops are nice and big, easily accessible, and I've got access to both my engines through the sugar scoop. On the starboard sugar scoop, we also have our grill, which is also very important to Linda. I don't grill a lot, but when I do, it's back here, and she always thinks that's a big treat.
It's amazing. You're a great chef.
But these engine rooms are amazing. They're very deep. They're very easily accessible. To get down in there, do the maintenance, even while you're underway, it feels safe because I can get down in there, I can close the lid, and then I'm protected to down there. We have 55 horsepower Volvo Penta engines in here with sail drives, and then in this particular hole we also have our water maker. So I'm going to grab the camera from Linda and show you down here. Okay guys, my lens isn't really wide enough, so I'll kind of pan around, but you can see here I've got my water maker on this shelf. On my back wall, I've actually got a nice fire suppression system with this fire extinguisher that has one of those, I don't know, one of those kind of temperature sensor controls, so if a fire breaks out, that fire extinguisher will actually automatically go off. I have my engine here, my Volvo Penta engine, and as you can see, there's plenty of room around it in order to do any kind of maintenance we need. And then we've got, you know, various bilge pumps and so forth in here. But I am actually inside this engine room, and there's still all of this room in here for me to move around. So I'm very pleased with the area in here. It's very easy to get around and do maintenance. All right guys, that pretty much takes care of the back half of this boat. So let's move forward and see what we got on the front side. The Katanas all come with the dagger boards, and this helps you point upwind when you're sailing into the wind. This helps you keep your track a little bit better. It also reduces the drag on the boat when you lift them and you're going downwind. So they're a little feature that help this boat perform a little bit better. All right, we got more storage. There's lots of storage on this boat, and both of our four peaks have lots of storage in them. They were actually originally designed to be crew quarters, so this side, the starboard side, has twin bunk beds in here, and the port side actually has an additional head in there for crew. But we don't have crew on board here, so we use it as storage. Down here I keep mostly extra lines. I'll keep fenders if we're not in a marina. I've got some fishing gear and a few water toys down here, but everything I try to keep down low so that if I needed to, I could always take the bunks and lay them down, and then I've got room for 2 crew. Okay, on the port side, it's the same story. We've got lots of storage here, but I don't fill it up too much. I try to keep these areas light so we don't overload the bows of the boat. So in this compartment, we actually have all of our diving gear. We've got scuba diving wetsuits, our fins, our masks, we've got some regulators, BCDs, and when we're not in harbor, then we also keep our bean bags and our spinnaker down in here. So it's a lot of bulky stuff, but it's very lightweight. But as you can see, it was originally outfitted to be a head, and it does actually operate. So if it was needed, we have a 3rd head up here. So let's go check out our locker storage up here. These bean bags, of course, are essential items on any catamaran because this is where we have our sundowners.
Also part of the tour.
We've got 4 lockers up here. This one is our main fuel tank. This is a 400-liter tank, and one of the benefits to having this tank up here is it is actually much higher elevation than the engines themselves. And so what that does is it allows us to not rely on fuel pumps back there on the engines to get this fuel into the motors. It's one less thing to worry about. This one just works on gravity siphoning, and so I don't have to worry about pumping fuel up to the engines. It will siphon to the engines. The next locker we have is our chain locker. We have our windlass here, and we have what, 300 feet of chain down in there. We also keep a couple of jerry cans, and I've got my secondary anchor in here. So this is our anchor locker. And I'm gonna show you the anchor in just a little bit and show you some of the advantages of our anchor system that I really like. But let's move on and look at these other lockers. This third locker is where we have our propane. I've got 2 propane tanks down here. We also keep our dinghy wheels, and then the rest of this storage is generally fenders. We've got the fenders out right now because we're in the marina, but when we're underway, I'll throw some fenders down in there. The fourth and final locker that we have up here in the front is kind of a mix mash of things right now. The primary purpose of this locker is to hold our life raft. It's even marked up here, life raft releasing, and this locker actually has a quick release from underneath the boat. You can pull the floor out, and then that way you can get access to the life raft from underneath the boat. But we also have in here a whole bunch of insect screens. Try to keep it clean so that we have easy access to that life raft. Okay, I mentioned I wanted to talk to you about the anchor. We have a oversized Mantis anchor on this boat. It has been a great anchor. It has always kept us held nice and tight. And the one thing that I wanted to show you is you'll notice on the trampoline here and on our decks, we don't have any anchor chain. Our anchor chain is actually below us. And so it keeps the trampoline and the decks nice and clean because I don't have rust or mud or any of that goop from the anchor chain up here. The chain actually feeds under the trampoline and into that anchor locker back there. All right, guys, I think that's pretty much got us covered out here on the bow of the boat and the outside of the boat in general. The only other thing really of notable interest is that this boat does not have a bowsprit. It was an option on Katanas, and this Katana actually did not have that option. So we don't have that bowsprit, but hey, that just saves us one more sail to lug around. Maybe someday in the future we'll add it if we feel it's necessary. But hey, if there's anything that I missed that you guys are interested in tech-wise or performance-wise on the exterior of this boat, leave a comment below and I will address it. So now let's go inside and we'll let Linda show you her realm.
Welcome to the salon. Just come on in. Let's get started with what I do know the proper term is, and that is the galley, shall we? So we'll start here on this side. Here is our wonderful galley. One of the things that I like the most about the Katanas, and one of the reasons we chose it, is because it's got a very, very big kitchen area. It's got a lot of space, lots of surface space, where I can put a bunch of things in it, a bunch of storage space down below. Here we have our spices. Here we have our cleaning supplies. Over here we have, you know, our cutlery, everything like that's in here. We've got all of our doodads and whatchamacallits and our plates. And of course, because we're on a boat, even though we don't move as much as like a monohull, we still have these little cool buttons that go boop, 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 so that if it is bumpy, everything's not flying out. As you can see, I have a wonderful long counter space area, but if you look a little bit closer, you will find that there is more than meets the eye basically along this whole area. One thing is my awesome double sink area here. I've got 2 deep sinks where I can store a lot of dishes for Kurt to wash after I cook. He loves it. It's his favorite thing ever, right, Kurt?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, loves it. And then this serves as 2 purposes as well. Obviously, as you saw, it's a cover, and then I can flip it around, and then there's a nice cutting board on each one of them, so I can be like, oops, something like that. And then if you come over here on this flat area is actually where our stove is hidden. We've got a 3-burner stove. I think it's a Force 10 stove, quite popular brand for most boat owners, and it's been working fantastically. We've got an oven, which I don't use too much because it does get hot in here when I use it. And then here's more storage for all of our oven gadgets and more bowls and things like that. And a new addition that we got recently is my super duper awesome inductor stove, right? induction stove. And the reason, or cooker, induction cooker, the reason I got this is one, again, kind of like the oven situation. It gets really hot in here, and we're in Mexico, so it's hot all the time. So when I use this stove a lot, it gets super hot in here. So this is going to help reduce the heat, and also it will help eliminate us having to constantly look for places to fill up our gas tanks. Hopefully. I still have some PTSD. I don't know if you guys watched last week's episode, but if you did, you will find that I royally screwed things up and I broke what I'm about to show you, and it's super embarrassing, but we still haven't gotten it fixed, so it is what it is. But this is our fridge. It's supposed to be a fantastic, wonderful, beautiful, deep fridge where we store all of our goodies. We love it because it's big, but as you can see, there's ice in it because I broke right over there the back plate, and it was a nightmare. And let's move on, shall we? Here we are in our seating area. It's got a lot of space. It's meant to fit many people. We can probably fit about 6 to 8 people here comfortably. This table, normally on catamarans, you have these big tables that actually like kind of go down, and you can turn this into like a sleeping area for a kid or something like that. But this table does not do that, for a very important reason, and that's because our bar is under there, and the bar is more important to us than children sleeping comfortably. A fun inside scoop for those of you who have been watching us for a long time and may be curious what plants behind me are fake and what plants behind me are real. You about to find out. Ready? Fake, real, real, oh yeah, real, super fake. This is basil, and it is very real. This is mint, and this is also real, but very disgusting together in my mouth, and this is fake. Another cool feature about this boat is that the original owner did a couple of modifications to the salon area. Normally the Catana 471s only have this bench right here, and then the table, and then the awesome seating area behind, but the original owner added this back area. One, I guess because he wanted his back to be more comfortable, but honestly I think it's because he had his priorities straight and he wanted his bar to be optimal, because we've got a bunch more storage here for our cups and all of these glasswares. We don't have fancy glassware ourselves, but if we were fancy, we'd be popping. Finally, we've got the storage that I was telling you guys earlier about on the boat, and everything you see under these cushions is fully stocked with storage. We've got food, we've got batteries, we've got a whole bunch of stuff, and I'll let you go into the batteries and all that stuff, but I'll talk about the storage area. So we've got a bunch of goodies in there. Take a peek. As you can see, I don't have children on board, but I do have Kurt, and he is a snacker. So most of the things that are in here are long-term things and a bunch of Kurt snacks. I've got coffee in here, more snacks for Kurt. He's a hungry boy. We lift up this hatch and we have more storage, and this is where we put our drinks. So here I've got some paper towels, and then here I've got a bunch of dried goods like rice. I've got some panko, breadcrumbs. I've got all my sugar seals so that it lasts longer. I've got my pasta, and then I've got some drinks here, all of the sodas, canned goods, more canned goods, things like that. So when we go on long passages, we do not go without.
Okay guys, the rest of this settee also has lots of storage, and over on this side, this is where we have the power center of the boat. This is where I have my new inverter and my new lithium battery bank that you may remember from an earlier episode. We just did this upgrade, and by going to the lithium battery bank, it reduced the number of batteries I had in here, so now I have lots of room to work. It's nice and clean, and I have lots of room in order to upgrade the system to more batteries in the future if we feel it's necessary. On this Catana 471, we have our nav station positioned over here to the aft side of the salon, and it's nice. You know, it's not forward facing. Some of the 471s actually have a different layout, and they have the galley on this side and the nav stations in the forward facing. This nav station is great. It's got lots of room. You pull out your seat, you're able to sit down. We've got lots of storage underneath the desk. We have a great 16-inch chart plotter here. We have our VHF radio, our handheld radio. We have SSB radio up here, which we have not used a lot yet because we haven't had much weather to deal with. But as we get into hurricane season, this is going to be more and more valuable to get weather reports. And then we have our electric panel over here on the side where we control both the AC and the DC circuits in the boat. Okay guys, we went over a lot of the really cool features about our salon, whatever it is. Now I'm gonna go over a few of the drawbacks to this Catana design. One of them is the windows. We do have large windows. They do go 360 degrees around, so we get lots of visibility. And when we're cruising, we generally take the window shades off in order to get better visibility so we can see what's going on out there while we're inside. But one of the drawbacks to that is by having so many windows, and because the coach roof is so aerodynamic, these windows let in a lot of sunlight.
It gets hot.
It gets hot during the day, so that's why the window shades stay on, and sometimes we even actually put blackout shades up in order to keep the sun out of this area. One of the other disadvantages to this area is if you're a tall guy, like I happen to be 6'1", then you find that you don't always have a lot of headroom in here. It's comfortable for me. I really don't have many complaints about it, but when I do get over here in this area for the rare times I'm cooking, then I start getting crunched in. You know, if I come over here to get a drink, I'm, you know, trying to hit, my head does hit the roof. So I find myself over here a lot of times working and I've got my head cocked to the side or whatever. So if you are a tall guy, especially if you are over 6'1", something for you to remember that this ceiling is not all that tall.
So we've shown you guys everything on top here in the boat. So now let's go check out what's under. Welcome to the port side of the boat, also known as the guest side. We've got 2 cabins and 1 guest bathroom, and I'm going to show you guys all of that. We're going to work our way forward and then work back, which probably looks really confusing to you guys on that side on the screens, but this truly is my forward, so let's go this way. Okay, so as you can see, the rooms are pretty spacey for a guest room. The other one in the back is actually a little bit bigger than this one, but still, the beds are huge. They're comfortable. We have nice ventilation on each side. This one's actually covered right now because we are trying to stay private. We are in a marina and we don't want people to see our business, so we've got that one closed for now. But then on this side too, we've got another little hatch that opens up, and this room is actually the coolest room out of the entire boat, just naturally because of the way that the wind, when we open both these windows up, it's so nice and cool, and our color choices are nice and breezy. It's really one of the best rooms to be in. Whoop. Almost forgot to show you guys the storage in here. So we have some storage in each one of the guest rooms, and this one is located here. We've got these top ones that have nice little shelves. It's a little bit hard for us to keep these nice and clean for guests because we do live on this boat full time. So we oftentimes pack these things in with sometimes important things and sometimes things that aren't very important, but we just don't want to deal with them, so we hide them down here. But if any of you ever come to visit us, we will clean this and you will have your storage space, I promise. There's a lot more coolness happening inside these walls, but we're gonna go to the bedroom over here and then we'll come back and show you guys the rest of it. So this is the aft cabin, a little bit bigger than the one up in the front. But before I forget, I'll show you guys the storage right now. And here is our storage area for this cabin. We've got some guest towels and some hanging area, and it looks a little bit different than the other one. You can see this air conditioning duct here because the front one is naturally cool. This one is unnaturally hot. So this room actually has air conditioning, and it's located down here. You can see it. I can't explain it, but it's magic and it works and it's fantastic. And it also has this bed, which is amazing. It's so nice. This is where the VIP people come and stay. My mom stayed in here. Kurt's dad stays in here. If we like you, you get to stay in here. If we don't like you, well, it's definitely not here that you'll stay. But if you come a little bit deeper in, it's actually really, really nice. We also have ventilation on this side, and there's a little window on this side, and then there's a little like bunk bed up here where a family can fit a kid if they want to, or you can put your luggage or whatever up here. But yeah, really, really nice, really fancy. And that's it. That's the guest room. Okay, so now that we've seen the two guest bedrooms, I am going to show you guys the guest bathroom, which is called a head in nautical world, but for all you normal folk out there, it's a bathroom and it's shared. And I'm about to show you guys this bathroom, and I'm curious how we're gonna make this work because it is very tight in there. And I don't know how I'm gonna get all you guys in here, but I'm gonna give it a try. So let's see if we can do this. So here we have our guest head area. Very tight, very compact. You cannot be a thick set person. Not trying to offend anyone. It's just not going to be comfortable. This is our head, and it is a fresh water head, electric, and they say that fresh water is supposed to reduce the calcium buildup on these bad boys here, but I'll tell you what, we have not had much luck on that. We've had some times where we've had to get down and dirty and clean these out quite often over the last few months, but it's fine, it works. There are a lot of portholes in this bathroom head, and also in the master one too, which I'll show you guys here in a second. And then over here, we've got our sink and another nice viewing area where you can brush your teeth and contemplate why you're sitting at your office job constantly and not here on this boat hanging out with us. But you're here now, so that's good. And then over here, we have the shower, and this is a really, really cool shower because unlike many guest heads in many boats, it is actually separate from the rest of the bathroom. So somebody could be doing what they need to be doing over there, and you could be taking a shower in here. I don't recommend it. It is a small area, but you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And that's pretty much the guest head area. Let's check out the rest of this port side. Hello again. It's me showing you guys the rest of this port side. So here in these walls, we have even more storage area, and we have all of our linens, we've got extension cords, we've got our beach towels, we've got our laundry stuff, extra ice cube things, just pillowcases, sheets, just a bunch of stuff. And then on this side as well, it also opens up. We've got our sunscreens, we've got extra, you know, doodads and things, toilet paper, all sorts of things. So just wanted to show you guys how much storage we really have. Besides the fridge that we have up there in the galley, we've got a freezer on this boat, and it's a pretty decent size. It's a little bit frosty right now because I'm traumatized from my experience upstairs, so I'm gonna let Kurt defrost this one and not me because I don't want to poke another hole in this, and then let's just not talk about that. Anyways, so we've got all of our freezed goods. He's a bacon eater, so I've got all these things. Again, really fantastic to have for long passages. And ice is a very, very rare commodity aboard a boat. People love coming and having drinks with us because we always offer ice when they come with their mixed drinks. So that is it on this side. There's actually more down here, but I'm gonna let the captain explain that to you guys.
So under the floors in both of these hulls, they're very similar. So they're pretty much an identical match on either side. So you see one, you've seen them all. But here is our bilges. It's got lots of area to work. We've got our plumbing hoses for the head, and they enter here into a holding tank that is not a hard holding tank. It actually does not pump out from the outside. These boats have a removable bladder tank that's about 25 gallons or so. But because it is a removable bladder tank, it's easy to replace, it's easy to maintain if necessary. But to pump them out, they actually have to get the pump out hose in here, and you can pump it out through this hose itself. And then this big tank, this fiberglass tank here, is our water tanks. We have one of these on either side. They're nice big tanks. Each of them are 400-liter tanks, and so they hold a lot of water and get us through a long ways. Okay, Linda showed you these large beds, but what's really cool is that we've got lots of storage underneath these beds. So you just kind of flip the mattress over there in two pieces, and then you can lift this up. I've got a little clamp here that I use to keep the thing from falling on my head, and then voila, we have tons of room under these beds for storage. And we just, we don't fill them up too much, but it's great for using to store things that are seasonal, or store things that you don't use very often, or store things that are light and bulky. You can put them under these beds. And you'll notice on the aft wall there, we actually have a water heater. We have a water heater on both the port and the starboard side, but I haven't figured out how to use them yet. They are not working. We have not had hot water on this boat. It's one of those projects that I'm going to get to eventually, but haven't had time to check it out just yet. So I'm not sure what the issue is with them, but someday we might have hot water on this boat.
I'll do that later. All right, let's go check out the other side of the boat, and we are going to go to the starboard side, which is where the master cabin is. So let's go check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to Rigby's bedroom. This room was designed, modified, and fitted for her comfort. And we thought that this would be our safe space and private space, but privacy does not exist on this boat. In all seriousness, this is our bedroom, not Rigby's. It is the master bedroom. This is an owner's version of this boat. So we have this whole entire hull to ourselves, the whole hull. I cracked myself up. Whatever. Anyways, so let's show you the bed, which is behind me. This is our bed. This is where the magic happens, and it's pretty nice and big and spacey. We've got ventilation from both sides, so it's nice and cool in here. We've got our shelving up here. We have a TV that we rarely use, and our air conditioning. This side is air conditioned. Our thermostat is over here, and we control it from here. We have this fantastic couch sitting area that is nice and spacious. You can relax like so, and that's pretty much all I use it for. I don't ever really use it for anything.
I use it.
Oh yeah, you do use it. You put your shoes on and stuff here, so I guess it's not a waste of space. It's also not a waste of space because what we really use it for is what's under here, and that's even more storage. Here we keep our documents and important boat documents and manuals, and then on this side we keep like cold weather gear for when we need it. So it's actually a cool little spot to have. Moving on, we have over here Kurt's office. This is where all of the editing and work and tears and sweat and cursing happen. Here is where it's all at. This is where our videos are made, and this is his little personal office space. And then I also have a jewelry box under here. So this is a vanity area. It's got a nice mirror here where I'm supposed to be feeling myself and checking myself out, but I actually do all that in the bathroom, and we'll show you guys that here in a second. Before I show you guys the bathroom, back up a little bit. I'm gonna show you guys our clothing station dresser. Can't speak today. This is our dressing area, our dressers. So the first 4 are actually mine, which is really embarrassing, but it's the truth. And then the last 3 are Kurt's. And then up here, we've got a medicine cabinet. This is where we keep most of our first aid things, because you always need to be prepared and safe. And then over here, we have even more storage. And guess what? It's all my stuff too. I've got a bunch of workout clothes in there, nice clothes that I barely ever use, probably gonna have to give it away one day. And the compressor for the air conditioning unit is actually right here as well. And then over here we've got even more stuff. We've got cold weather gear again, jackets and things, but honestly it's just,
it's your hanging locker for
more,
dresses and
yeah,
things like
it's
that.
more of my look, guys. I think I have a problem. That's what we'll leave it on. But let's check out the bathroom, shall we? So here is the master head. This is where we get ready in the day, and it's really, 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 really big compared to the other one. Like really, really, really big. We can actually both fit in here in the mornings when we're getting ready for the day. So we've got our medicine cabinet here, all of our little things in there, a little corner for toiletries, and this is where the magic happens, not over there in the vanity. Here's where I put all my creams and things to make myself look beautiful. We've got a nice deep sink here, and here we've got some more storage. And then behind this door, if you want to come over here, we've got the other head. I've never had to be so close to a head to talk about it. You're in here all the time fixing it, because boat problems, we always have head problems. But yes, electric head, fresh water, just like the other side, nice and spacious, fantastic. And Kurt is actually standing in the shower, so get out of there so I can show him the shower. And last but not least, we are in the shower area, nice and big. We never use this shower, like ever. The only time we use this shower...
What do you have in there with you?
Oh, this is my washing machine. This is my Lavomatico washer. It's kind of like an agitator, and this is what we use to do laundry. We don't have an electronic washing machine on board. Everything is done by hand.
Too cheap. I haven't splurged on the electric washing machine for it.
He is quite cheap, but I will say, whenever we're somewhere where we have like a laundry service, we do try to take advantage of that. Here in Mexico, they actually fold your clothes and stuff when they give it to you. So yes, we do use it, the laundry services, when we can, but most of the time, ta-da, this is how we get it done. But what I was saying is, we never use this shower. We only use it when there's guests on board so that they don't see us naked, because most of our showering is done outside in the sugar scoop. We do like a saltwater bath and then a freshwater rinse out there. But if we did want to use this shower, we've got a nice shower here. We could show everyone and expose ourselves through this ventilation system here. There's
a lot of windows in this shower.
Yeah, we've got a lot of windows
on both sides.
Yep, there's windows here and windows here. So if you guys are ever sharing the same anchorage with us, come and enjoy the show. Excuse me, Rigby. We're trying to do a boat tour. Can you please? Okay.
Rigby, do you want to show everybody where you keep your things?
Yeah, so here is Rigby's closet. This is where we keep all of her little toys. She is a retriever, so it's natural for her to want to like hold things and bring them to you. So instead of bringing us baby birds and dead things, we've given her a nice collection of toys.
And they're all nasty.
And they're pretty gross, but this is her favorite, and this is her favorite. And sometimes she likes this one, and she's coming over here. Come here. You want to show everybody your toys? Here you go. Take it. Oh, what it... And that's it. This is our master bedroom, and this is what we call home.
Well, if you're still with us, that means you made it through the entire tour. And we really hope you enjoyed getting to know La Vida Gypsea just a little bit better.
Let us know in the comments below if you guys like this episode. We read every single comment that you guys put, and we really appreciate the feedback. With that being said, special patron shout out time goes to Brett! He doesn't get a song, he doesn't get a poem, but that's okay because he's special in his own way because he was one of the first people to follow us on our Instagram, and he has been watching our episodes from the beginning, and now he has extended his relationship with us by becoming a patron.
Thank
you, Brett, and thank you to all of our other patrons. You guys help put the wind in our sails, and if you guys want to help out, you know, check in the description box below and check out our Patreon as well. Other than that, have a great day, like it, subscribe to it, and we will see you guys next time.
See ya.